YouTube, what is going on? I'm going to try to do this pretty quick. These are the two videos, or two cars from the last video. Two of the cars from the last video. The custom Dodge Ram Charger and the custom K5. This casting, one complaint, and it's a real issue, and it's going to become more of an issue as time goes on, as the tooling gets worn out. I don't think this tooling is going to last them very long, because there's virtually no lines for the doors. They did not cut that deep enough. And I don't know if it's just because they're using like really thin walls on their castings to save cost. I think that would make sense that they would do that. But this is like really bad. That's a shame, because the casting itself, it is a really nice casting. I mean, other than the stance, but you can fix the stance just by tooling a new base. But look at the door lines. Like, there just isn't any. So that's concerning. But anyways, all right, let's get into the video here. Well, let's see if I can not shake the camera so much. Okay, so I did these, I like on these 4x4s, making them look off-road capable, but also look like they've been off-road. So that's why I put the whip antennas on them, because when you have a 4x4 convoy, like when I used to go four-wheeling all the time up in Colorado, it'd be like me, my uncle, my dad, my cousins, and we all had our trucks, and we all had Cobra CB radios. I remember in my 95 Bronco, we tore the little plastic console out. That's one thing about those Broncos, the console sucked. It was like really low between the two front seats. The top of the console sat below the butt of the seat. So we took the plastic one out, and my cousin and my uncle and I spent a Saturday night building a new console. We just made it out of plywood, and it was just a big box. It had a unique design to it. It's kind of hard to describe, but it was basically a big box that doubled as an armrest, and at the front of the box, about a little bit down from the top of it, there was two cup holders. And then from there, I angled like a faceplate up at an angle, so you could slide the Cobra down into it. And then like I had a little like the mic mounted onto the side for the CB. It was awesome. Like when I sold the truck, all the pictures and everything, when I listed it, had that. And when the guy came to buy it, he's like, I'm not buying this unless you have the console. And we had taken it out and put it in my uncle's garage. And I'm like, well, obviously I can't use the console. I don't have the truck, so I don't need the console. So you can have the console. And he followed me to my uncle's house and took it. But that's how cool it was. We carpeted it and made it look real clean. So that's why I put whips on, because I had a whip on my 95 Bronco. My whip was mounted similar to this, except mine was mounted on the top spare tire thing. I just got like a little, I don't even know what it was, but it was some kind of bracket that was made for something else, but it looked like it was made to mount a whip antenna on a spare tire rack. And then we grounded it inside the truck on the somewhere in the back. But yeah, so we all had our whips, and we all had our safari racks. Well, we didn't all. My cousin had a safari rack, and I had a couple of Yakima bars. Um, so that's why I like doing this so much, you know. And plus, it looks better, in my opinion. So to continue on with that, I do like doing that on some of the newer 4x4s that I have. I've done it on a couple. And here is another one. This one didn't come out great. This is why I don't like opening doors on 1:64 scale cars. The thing about this is when you buy this, it's a BM Creations. And they give you, like, it comes with the stock tires. But they give you an extra set of the all-terrain tires. But the all-terrain tires have this white writing that says BM Creations, blah, 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 junk. I don't want those showing. So I put the black walls out. You also have to glue the rack down, which is a lot easier said than done. Luckily, I have the stance hunters. If I didn't have that, it would have been a lot harder to do this. But having that allowed me to reference approximately where the rack should be mounted. But I think I did get this one pretty good. It's off just slightly to the driver's side, but it's very straight, and it's on there really well. So this side looks better because the door isn't cattywampus, and I just weathered it with same stuff, Tamiya Weathering Master. Just did 2 shades of brown. The first shade that I did was basically the same color as the truck, so you couldn't see it. So I just went with something a little bit darker, and I kind of rushed this one. It doesn't look particularly great, but it doesn't look like a brand new truck, and that's kind of the idea. And then the whip on this one is mounted behind the spare tire, because I've seen a lot of people do that. But overall, I do like this. This is one of the 6 cars that I was going to do in the next video, but I'll do this one in this video. So the next video will be 5 cars, or 4 cars, because I'm going to do another one in this video. But of the 4 cars, I'm going to preview 2 of them here. But first, let's look at this Auto World Lincoln Continental. And before we get into it, here's the card. Really nice card art that's going to go right where it belongs, into the garbage. I don't collect pictures, so I always keep the blisters though, because they're great palettes for painting. I use every single one of those I get. I pull out and I use them. But yeah, 16,200 of these made, so it's not rare by any stretch of the imagination. But wait 3 years and check eBay for one of these. Guarantee you won't be able to find it. Right now, it is February of 2022. So February 2025, you won't be able to find this on eBay. And if you can find it on eBay, it's going to be expensive. My guess now would be $30 to $40 or more. So we will see how that plays out. Here's the back of the card. These are the 6 cars from the release. Only one of these that I'm interested in is, I saw the Stealth. I left it on the pegs. The Nova 2 was on the pegs. I left it there where it belongs. The Silverado was gone. The Vet was gone. And the Camaro was gone. So the only 3 cars was the Dodge Stealth, the Nova wagon, and somehow the black Lincoln Continental was left on the pegs. So I'm glad it was, because if it weren't, I would have left that day with no cars, because I'm not buying the Nova wagon or the Dodge Stealth. Only because I don't like the stance on the Dodge Stealth, so I don't want it. The only one that looks good, in my opinion, is the white one with the white wheels, and I've already got that one. And I don't want any more carded. I don't need any more carded examples of that. So this is a great looking car. You know, this is just Auto World doing what Auto World does. They design very nice 1:64 scale replicas. Look at the wheels. Those are open spoke chrome turbine wheels. Flawless execution. There is zero flashing on any of the four wheels. Greenlight could not make a wheel this nice in 100 years. Greenlight would do a wheel like this and it would be 100% flashed and it would look like a chrome blob. Here's the front of the car. Rotating headlights in the closed position. The grille is very nice, very detailed. However, that grille is a tampo. It's not an open concept. But it's so nicely executed that you can't tell by looking at it. It looks fantastic. And then you've got the oval window there on both sides with the Lincoln badge. I remember the Lincoln badge on those oval windows. Door handles, the keyhole. White wall tires, which look pretty good, pretty symmetrical. So overall, a very cool car. I know a lot of people are calling this their favorite Auto World casting. I'm not there. My favorite Auto World casting is, and probably always will be, the 67 Coupe DeVille. Their Silverados are really nice, though. I mean, they do a lot of really nice stuff, but I like this casting a lot, but it's just not, probably not my top 3 for Auto World. Maybe not even in my top 5. But when you get Auto World cars released in black, they are must-haves. Always have a high resale value. Look at any Auto World car that's been released. Find the black ones. There's a ton of them. You have the DeVille a couple times in black. You have the Eldorado. You have the Ford, the Galaxy. You have the Dodge Polara. You have the Dodge Dart. You have all the Corvettes, both Corvettes, I should say. Basically, almost every car they've done, the black ones, always hard to find and expensive when you find them. And I'm sure it'll be the same with this, because you're probably not going to see them release it in black again. So, all right. Here's something you haven't seen on eBay yet. This is a Greenlight. Well, here. I'll show you the base. And you're going to ask yourself, am I seeing that correctly? Yep. It's a 73 Cadillac Sedan DeVille made by Greenlight, tooling number GL210. Not yet released, but there is a rogue Greenlight employee who stamped some of these out and posted them up on eBay months before its official release. So I, being the good supporter of small business owners that I am, went ahead and bought myself one. Now, it did cost a little bit of more money. You do pay a premium to get one of these, months in advance. It was about $15 shipped. And the caveat to that is it's just a card. There's no packaging. what they do is they stamp some extra cars out, they build them, and they don't, probably because they're not ready to be packaged and none of the packaging is available yet. So they just take the castings home and sell them like this. They don't even put a number on it. So when you see the production numbers when this car's released, it's not going to be accurate. It's obviously going to be a higher production. But I would say they probably only did a couple hundred, a few hundred maybe. Beautiful car though. I mean, I would have liked to have seen the front windows down. That would have been harder to do though with that. It's not even a B-pillar, you know, because when you put the front and back windows down, that's just all open. So it probably would have been hard to do, but I think it would have looked a little bit better with the front windows down. But it's a great looking car. I mean, the thing about this car is you can display it with the Auto World caddies, and it's hard to tell that it's a different brand. Now, one thing I will say, when you look at the Auto World, as is the case with all Auto World cars, I love how they do their chrome bumpers. They just paint them silver. I love it. It's a subtle touch, but the quality is a lot better, and I think the look is a lot better as a result, because in 1:64 scale, these cars are just too small to have that much chrome. Now, I know on camera the chrome does look really good here, but, you know, here's the thing. These bumpers are part of the casting on the Auto World. That's a molded part of the casting. When you get to the Greenlight, the bumpers are separate pieces, so it's a very M2 thing to do, and it lowers the quality from a durability or a breakability standpoint. But even if the bumpers were separate pieces like they are, I would still prefer silver over chrome in this scale. Now, I know that I might be a minority there. I think a lot of you would probably prefer the chrome. But, you know, I like the silver. I think it's a cleaner look. I have to say, though, this chrome on this caddy, it really does look good on camera. So, anyways, this is the 4-door, and I think they are going to do this in a 2-door as well. I think they're releasing both the sedan and the coupe. There's the front end. Interior detail. Those big plush, like, sofa bench seats. I had a 2002 Cadillac. It was a DTS DeVille. It was one of the last years that they did those big, fluffy, like, couch seats. Probably not one of. It was definitely the most comfortable car I've ever had. And that thing floated down the road. It was an amazing drive. I would buy another one of those, but it would have to be it would have to be one of those with the big soft seats like that. They haven't done that in quite a few years. Here's the back. The badging on this car is awesome. It all looks really good. Only thing I'd say about that, though, is I think the hood on this, I could be wrong, but I thought the hood ornament was an actual ornament. I didn't think it was like a badge on the hood like that, but I could be wrong on that. That could have been later on, like into the 1980s. All right, here's her side-by-side. This is a 67 Coupe DeVille from Auto World and a 73 Sedan DeVille from Greenlight. I mean, it's looking at them here, they could be the same brand. This is my favorite Auto World casting right here. I don't think that the Lincoln Continental compares to this. But anyways, that's about it. 73 four-door Cadillac from Greenlight. This thing is just so clean. I wanted to buy one of these to kind of rust it out, kind of roach it out a little bit. Just rust out like the rocker, you know, the fenders. Just kind of make it look like a, you know, an old dusty, rusty Cadillac that still runs. But you can't buy one of these for like less than $25 or $30. Pretty crazy. And that's the thing with this Greenlight Cadillac, you know, you can display it up with some of the big M2, or not M2, not M2, but you can display it with some of the big Auto World boats, and it just fits right in. It looks like it's made to be there. So definitely jump on that. I think that eBay seller might have a few of these left. If you buy it, it's going to take a couple, 2 to 3 weeks for it to hit your mailbox. But if you buy it in the next week or so, you're still going to get it before it releases to the public. So, all right, let's take a look real quick and let's tease some of these cars we got coming up. They're going to look awesome on this asphalt road that I modeled here when I take them out of the packaging. So the first one we're going to look at is this Hobby Japan 60 Series Land Cruiser. Now, NO64 got theirs out first. And quite frankly, based on what I see here in the packaging, having not taken it out of the packaging, I think the NO64 is quite a bit nicer. But I can't say that for sure, and I won't know that for sure until I take this out. But primarily, the front end is where I think NO kind of takes the cake on that. I want to check something. I think I have I thought I had my NO right up here. I want to, because I thought the NO had round headlights. I could be wrong on that. Anyways, the next video we'll take this out and we'll take a look and we will compare it to the NO64. We will do a very close side by side. It is possible that this turns out to be nicer. I don't know. It's a very cool car. They did 5 or 6 colors, and they just recently announced 3 more that are coming out in the summer. On the fence as to whether or not I paint the wheels. I may or I may not. I probably won't, because Hobby Japan, they produce such a limited quantity. Their stuff, for import brands, Hobby Japan increase in value probably better than any other brand. Other than like TLV, when I say any other brand, I'm talking about acrylic brands like Tarmac Works, NO64. Look at for example, the first car Hobby Japan ever did was the Prelude, and go on eBay and price those out. Very expensive, $100 bill. So very cool. And then this one here is a complete artistic masterpiece. The packaging is some of the nicest, highest quality packaging I've seen on a 1:64 scale car. It has a very high quality feel to the packaging. The only problem with the packaging is it's a box, so you can't see the car. But And I think this is a resin model. I'm not 100% sure. I can't wait to get this off the base and take a look at it. Cannot wait. I'm going to spend a lot of time on this. This car is probably worthy of its own video. The acrylic, it's kind of an interesting concept. The sliding acrylic, I've never seen anything like that. I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of cool because it's unique, but for people like me who take the cars out, I would prefer it to just pop on and off. But the detail on this thing is so amazing. The stance, the proportions, one of the most realistic looking cars I've ever seen in 1:64 scale. And those headlights, I believe those headlights flip up. And I think the bonnet on the back also flips up. So we will take a look at all of that and more in the next video, which should be coming at the end of the week. The two cars I'm waiting on, one of them has cleared customs, and it cleared customs earlier this week, so it should be shipping Monday. I'm thinking I'll have it Thursday or Friday. The other car from Canada is already at my local post office, so it's going to be in my box on Monday. So that'll be a 4-car video, but there will be more cars in it because when I look at this one, I am going to have the NO64 to kind of compare it to. But I am going to do this one last, and I'm going to spend some time on this one. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I don't think... Look at the calipers are incredibly detailed. The taillights on this look phenomenal. I think that if Tomica Limited Vintage did this MR2, I don't think it would look anywhere near this nice. And no other brand has done this car in this scale, so it's very limited production. You could say, well, Hot Wheels did it. Nah. Okay. But they did red, white, gunmetal, which is this one here, and black. And I think they did 1,000 pieces of each color. I know this color is 1,000. So very, very limited production. And yeah. So that's it, guys. We're at a half hour. That was about 15 minutes longer than the video should have been. I really primarily just wanted to showcase this because it's cool. This car's not going to be out for a few more months, and yet I already have it to show you guys. I wish I could do that on every new Greenlight tooling. This is going to be a hot car. I think a lot of collectors are going to want to add this car into their collection. It stacks up very, very nicely to the auto world. Don't get me wrong, the auto world is nicer, but I wouldn't say it's, you know, like head and shoulders better looking. I mean, if I were to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say 9. Maybe a 10. Probably a 9. I think to get a 10, you gotta be somewhere in this level. Maybe this is higher than a 10 on a scale 1 to 10. This might be like a 15. So I would say a 9 on this, just for the fact that it's tampoed headlight and taillight detail. But this one here, honestly, I'd probably give it like a 7.5. Maybe an 8. It's a really nice car. Stance on it's great. Looks great. So, all right, well, I'll see you guys in a week with some awesome premium detailed Toyota stuff. Maybe some Lexus stuff as well. So stay tuned for that. And happy hunting.